Hey everyone, it's Lori, and I am here today with a video about the books I plan to finish before the end of the year. So I am filming this towards the beginning of November, and 2020's been a hard year. Um, I generally do quite a few different, reading challenges type things throughout the year. I usually set a Goodreads reading goal, that sort of thing. But I kind of realized we're getting close to the end of the year, and there are still several things that I would like to wrap up or read before the end of 2020. So, this is kind of the books I am hoping to finish before the end of the year. So, first off, there's a couple series that I would like to finish. The first that I want to talk about is the Rosewater trilogy by Tade Thompson. I have listened to the first two books out of this trilogy, and I really, really enjoy these books. I haven't listened to the third one yet because I kind of don't want it to end, but on the other hand, I kind of feel like I should wrap up the series this calendar year so that just everything can be tied up in a neat little bow, I guess. It just makes me happy to finish a whole series in a year. Another series that I'm hoping to finish this year is the Gilead series. So I read the book Home with the Close Reads podcast in the month of October, and I am currently listening to Gilead. But there are 4 books in the series. Gilead was the first book. I believe Lila was the second book. Then Home. I think I could be wrong on Lila and Home. And then the 4th book just came out, and it's titled Jack. So I have all of the books on hold at the library for trying to get through them. So in the middle of Gilead, Jack was already offered to me, and so I delayed it for a little bit so that I can get through the earlier 2 books before I go into Jack. But I do hope to get through those 3 books, Gilead, Lila, and Jack, before the end of 2020. I, of course, also am participating in Nonfiction November, so I will be hopefully finishing 4 books, one for each of the 4 prompts. So if you want to see more about what I might be reading for that, I'll link my Nonfiction November up above and down below, hopefully, if I remember. My TBR for that, you can go check that one out. Then the other 2 reading challenges that I kind of do are the Cathlit Challenge. So Cathlit 19 was reading 19 books. Cathlit 2020, thankfully, Hallie from Michaelmas didn't choose to do 20 books. She chose 10. And I have accidentally read several books in some of the categories and haven't gotten to any books in the other categories. So the books I still have remaining that I am hoping to finish are The Reed of God by Carol Houselander. I had this under a spiritual classic, but if I don't get to this, I did read The Sinner's Guide a few months ago, so I could use that for my spiritual classic and not actually read the one I originally intended to. But I would still like to get through this. My husband did buy this for me for Valentine's Day, and that was kind of a long time ago now, so I really should get to it. Another book I'm hoping to finish is Dark Night of the Soul. This is by St. John of the Cross, and this was under the category book by a doctor of the church. So I have this one in my house, and I haven't read anything else by a doctor of the church this year, so I really need to get this one done. For a book about beauty, when I did my mid-year check-in on my Catholic 2020 challenge, I still hadn't chosen a book, but then there was a sale at Ignatius Press, and so I found this one while I was trying to buy enough books to get a free book, and it's by Joseph Piper, who also wrote Leisure, the Basis of Culture, and this one is called Only the Lover Sings, Art and Contemplation. Thankfully, it is not a very thick book, so I hope I don't have trouble getting through this one. 2020's been a hard year for reading. Reading intense theological smart people books. I'm doing okay on the fiction reading, but some of this is a bit hard for me right now. And then the other two are actually books that I'm in the middle of that I just need to finish up. For a book about a saint, I have been reading St. John Paul the Great, His Five Loves. I finished the first half of the book, which is kind of like a mini biography, and then the second half is kind of about his theological priorities almost. So I finished the maybe first two of his five loves. So I have this much of the book left. I had hoped to finish this in October. It didn't happen. My parents ended up getting evacuated from their house, and they came out and stayed with us for about a week. So I did more fiction reading and less nonfiction type reading because of that. And then this one is one I've just been working on all year, and I'm sure I will be done with before the end, and that's Poems Every Catholic Should Know by Joseph Pearce, compiled by Joseph Pearce. This one's interesting. I have lots of thoughts on it, but I do still have less than a quarter to go. So I don't think I should have a problem finishing this up. I just need to, pick it up a little more often. And then the last reading challenge type thing that I do is I have been doing the Read Your Way to Heaven book reading plan. And it's a 5-year plan. And I had been hoping to finish year 3 during 2020. And that's just not going to happen. And that's okay. I started this with a group several years ago, and the group is much further on than I am. I'm not so good at the daily reading type things, so I struggle with that. I'd rather read chunks at a time, and so that's how I do it. But I have kind of stalled out on this particular book. It is The Lord by Romano Guardini. The Lord by Romano Guardini. This is just very dense. So I've been at it for a couple months, and I'm only to page 116, and there's 535 pages in here. So I will be very lucky if I can just get through this one. I do believe besides some books of the Bible and some catechism reading, which I probably could get done before the end of the year if I prioritized it. But besides this book, I have one more book up there that was supposed to be for year 3, and I believe another one that I have on my Kindle that I believe is for year 3, so I am at least, 2 to 3 books behind schedule right now, and this has just been rough for me. And again, my brain just can't handle much this year, and I'm going to give myself a break because 2020 is just not the year for pretty much anything. So anyway, I just thought I'd share with you today the books that I'm hoping to finish up before the end of the year. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these, or if you think there's something I might as well skip. That would be great to know. But I really appreciate you watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you are interested. That helps me out. And beyond that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.